2022 Plan Commission meeting, City of Oshkosh Plan Commission meeting. We're glad you can join us. I do have a few housekeeping items to go over before we begin. Please turn off or silence all of your personal communication devices. When there is an agenda item that includes a public hearing, please understand that the applicant will be allowed to speak first. After the applicant finishes, the public will be asked to speak. When called upon to speak, please approach the podium, state your name and address for the public record. You have one opportunity per agenda item to speak, unless a Plan Commission member requires clarification or wishes to ask you a question. After the public finishes speaking, the applicant will be asked if they have a final statement for the Plan Commission, and then the Commission will take action on that agenda item. Thank you for understanding, and now on to our agenda. And before we go to the roll call, I'm going to introduce our newest Plan Commission member, Carl Lowenstein. Is that correct, Lowenstein? Lowenstein.
Yep.
So he is joining us for the first time tonight, so welcome to us. Having said that, now let's go on to roll call.
Mr. Kiefer?
Hi, here. Sorry.
Ms. Propp?
Ready?
Ms. Shireman?
Here.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Here.
Mr. Bowen? Mr. Coulibaly? Ms. Davy?
Here.
Councilmember Ford? Vice Chair Mitchell? Chairman Perry?
Here.
5 present.
Great, we have quorum. Approval of the August 2nd, 2022 minutes. Plan Commission, do we have a motion?
Move to accept as written.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the minutes? All right, having seen none, a voice vote is fine. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, any abstentions? Thank you. Item number 1, street right-of-way dedications for the widening of South Main Street. City of Oshkosh and the City of Oshkosh Redevelopment Authority are the owner, and the city is the applicant. Let's see, we need to have a report on this item, so I'll accept the report as stated. Please provide us a summary.
Site visits.
Oh, are there been any site inspections? Okay, 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, this is another request for the city to dedicate right-of-way on South Main Street to widen the width of it. Where's the mouse? Up on the screen, there's 2 sections to this request. One is between the East 7th Avenue and currently vacated East 8th Avenue. On the east side, the city's requesting to widen it by an additional 20 feet. This will make the overall width of South Main Street 80 feet wide, which is on par with the comp plan recommendations for arterial streets to be 80 feet in width. This allows additional area for enhanced streetscaping, wider sidewalk, and possibly wider traffic lanes and on-street parking when South Main will be reconstructed. And then there's a second smaller dedication request, which is just south of the Fox River, north of former Pioneer Drive. This is kind of a cleanup situation. This west line is the original South Main Street East right-of-way line. And back in 1971, the city officially mapped this area for future right-of-way dedication, but that dedication never took place. So this is less of a cleanup, and plus it does widen the right-of-way for at such time when the Main Street Bridge gets replaced. There'll be some additional right-of-way available for that. South Main is scheduled for reconstruction from the Fox River down to 16th Avenue in 2030. The city and the Wisconsin Department of Transportation have entered into an agreement for cost sharing, and design of the new street will be determined on the width of the right-of-way that's available along the various blocks between the Fox River and 16th Avenue. This dedication is part of a certified survey map, which is currently being reviewed by city staff. The City of Oshkosh and the City of Oshkosh Redevelopment Authority are the current owners of the land to be dedicated and are agreeable to the dedication. And then once city staff approves the CSM, it will be recorded at the Winnebago County Register of Deeds, and the dedication will become official upon approval by the Common Council. So staff is recommending approval of the right-of-way dedications on South Main Street as presented.
Wonderful. Thank you for your report. Plan Commissioners, are there any technical questions for the staff on this item?
Will this go down further south into like lot 2 there? eventually, or past 8th Street?
The city recently widened the portion between East 8th Avenue and East 9th Avenue. And then back by the arena, the city widened it to 80 feet between, let's see, where's that? Between 11th Avenue and South Park Avenue. So we're kind of piecemealing the widening of South Main Street as properties become available.
Yeah, as redevelopment takes place or as the city acquires property, we're doing the dedications one at a time. Obviously, prior to potential 2030 redevelopment, we'll look at doing the remaining blocks between, I guess, would that be 9th and 11th? The Brooklyn building sits between 6th and 7th, so right now we would likely not be looking to acquire additional right-of-way there as the building sits right on the property line. And the plans that were done during the Sawdust District and ultimately the street redevelopment will kind of work around the fact that that existing building sits right there, so it'll be wider up until to that point.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kiefer. Any additional questions, technical questions from the Plan Commission? Okay, having seen none, I am going to open a public comment period. There is no applicant present for us, and so is there any members of the public that wishes to speak? Okay, having seen none, I'm going to close the public comment period, and ask for the commission to have some action.
Make a motion to accept the recommendations and findings as presented in the staff report. Is that right?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, having seen none, we will have a vote, a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Kiefer,
Aye.
Ms. Shireman,
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein,
Aye.
Ms. Davy,
Aye.
Chairman Perry.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0.
All right, item number 2 is a public hearing. The Pontoon House annexation from the town of Oshkosh, 2538 Shorewood Drive and part of 2534 Shorewood Drive. James and Michelle Work, Loyal and Kelly Straveler are the owners and occupants. Have there been any site inspections? Ms. Davy? Okay. I'll accept the staff report as part of the record. Present the summary, please.
Thank you. Yeah, James, Michelle Work, and Loyal and Kelly Straveler are requesting approval of what we hope to be a unanimous annexation from the town of Oshkosh on Shorewood Drive. Up on the screen is the land use map showing the subject site. The Works are requesting, this is currently a vacant lot. The little building should not be there, but it is a vacant lot. And the Works are planning or proposing to construct a house there, and they want the house to be connected to city sanitary sewer and water main. So that's the reasoning behind this request. However, back in 1980, I believe, Frank Straveler, one of the owner's fathers, petitioned the city to annex Lot 7 right here. However, at that time, they were not able to annex the entire parcel because they would have created a town island to the properties to the south, which were still in the town at that time. So as a compromise, the city annexed 120 feet of Lot 7 and left the back area front of Lake Winnebago to remain in the town to keep that connection to the town lots to the south. However, Mr. Straveler signed an agreement with the city stating that at such time an adjacent property would annex into the city, the remainder of his back lot would annex as well as the newly requested annexation. Let me go to air photo here. Here's a close-up air photo of it. Again, the site is vacant, proposed to be developed with a single-family house. The current zoning in the town of Oshkosh is R2, which is a suburban residential district with town of Oshkosh zoning, and the applicants are proposing to annex into the city with a SR5 single-family residence district with a lakefront residential overlay applied to it, which is consistent with the zonings of the other residential dwellings along the south side of the house. The Department of Public Works reviewed the request and reported that sanitary sewer and water main were constructed in front of the property on Shorewood Drive back in 1975, so water and sewer are available. And sanitary laterals and water, or a sanitary lateral and water main lateral have been stubbed up to the property line, so access to city utilities will not be an issue. The police and fire departments were notified of this request, and they do not have any concerns with providing services to this property. So on that, there's just the engineering drawing of it. And with that, staff is recommending of the Pontoon House, or Pontoon and House annexation with a temporary and permanent zoning of single-family residential 5 with lakefront residential overlay as requested.
Okay, thank you for your report. Plan Commission, are there any technical questions for the planning staff? Ms. Davy?
How do you get the name Pontoonin?
That's the name of the LLC the Works purchased this property under. So
Okay.
generally, we stick to the property owner's name when we name an annexation.
Okay, thank
Yep,
you.
that's a little unusual, but
Yeah.
Any other technical questions for our staff? Okay, having seen none, since this is a public hearing, I'm going to open the public hearing and ask if the applicant is here and would like to give a statement. I do not see the applicant here. Is there any member of the community that would like to give a statement during this public hearing time? I see none as well, so I will close the public hearing and I will ask the commission to take action on this item.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendations and findings in the staff report.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, having seen none, we will have a vote. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Kiefer?
Aye.
Ms. Shireman?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Chairman Perry?
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you. Item number 3, 2023 Capital Improvement Program. There is no site inspection, so we will move on to the report.
Thank you. So this is for acceptance of the 2023 Capital Improvement Program. The purpose of the review is for Plan Commission to make the determination of consistency of the CIP with the city's comprehensive plan, official maps, and other planned activities. Annually, the CIP is prepared by the Finance Department in conjunction with the Department of Public Works and approved by the Common Council. Staff has reviewed all the proposed projects and activities, and none have been identified as being contrary to the comprehensive plan, official maps, or other planned activities. Here are the links for the CIP.
So similar to recent years, they have done a dashboard that you can click on and link to the bottom one, and it shows kind of throughout the community where the various projects are and can give more detail if anybody is interested in them.
Open it if you want.
You should be able to click on it if you want to. But,
Maybe not. I thought I tested that.
anyway, that link is available if anyone in the public would like to view the proposed projects.
So with that, the staff recommends acceptance of the 2023 Capital Improvement Program with the finding that the listed projects are not in conflict with the City of Oshkosh Comprehensive Plan.
Okay, thank you. Plan Commission, do you have any questions for the staff on the 2023 KIP plan? Ms. Shireman?
Could you say that again? So we do this every year, and the comprehensive plan is done how often?
So the comprehensive plan for the city of Oshkosh is usually about a 10-year cycle of review and renewal. Similarly, the CIP is a 10-year plan, but the specific projects are done on an annual basis. So the first year, the CIP is obviously the one that has the most likelihood of being done, and we're proposing them, and Public Works is proposing in that nature of these are the projects for next year. And then as you move out, kind of there's a little bit of fluctuation on exactly what year they may take place.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking that if you're reviewing something that's done on an annual basis versus something that's done on a 10-year basis, there, as you go along, there's likely more gaps. The longer you are in the comprehensive plan, the more could be a gap in the CIP.
Correct. The level of specifics in a comprehensive plan, because it's that truly high-level document,
True.
it doesn't really get into these very specific nuances of small projects. It's not a parcel-specific diagram, which is why when we're looking at and reviewing these two documents, we're looking for big red flags of things that are
Right.
inconsistent.
Great, thank you.
Ms. Davy?
The ARPA money that's showing in here, is that all of the ARPA money?
Going to defer to the Director of Public Works.
No, the Finance Department has been spreading out the allocation of our ARPA funding that council dedicated to CIP capital projects. There was some money that was dedicated to 2022 projects. As you mentioned, there is some money being proposed to be dedicated to 2023 projects. And again, in 2024, there would be some money proposed to be dedicated until the entirety of what the council approved going specifically to CIP, which was 3/4 of our allocation was going to CIP. So finance has been making those recommendations annually with the CIP. So it's not the entirety of it. As I said, some was this year, some is proposed for 23, some again will be proposed for 24.
And there's another 25% that's not in here, right?
Correct, that was.
Used other ways?
Yeah, that was to use other ways. I don't know if you caught the council meeting last week. There was some discussion about some of those other projects, non-CIP projects that the city manager was making some recommendations for council to discuss at the last council meeting. And I would anticipate at a very soon upcoming council meeting, it would probably be taking some action on some of those projects.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions from Plan Commission? Okay, having seen none, as is tradition with me, I will open up for public comment. Is there anybody from the public who would like to comment? Okay, having seen none, we'll close the public comment period. Commission, action is on you.
Move to accept the recommendations and findings as stated in the staff report.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, having seen none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Mr. Kiefer,
Aye.
Ms. Shireman,
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein,
Aye.
Ms. Davy,
Aye.
Chairman Perry.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you. Item number 4, it's a public hearing. Text amendments to the zoning ordinance. Department of Community Development is the applicant. There are no site inspections for this one either, so let's have the report.
Thank you. So staff is recommending text amendments to update our list in the landscaping ordinance of commonly used appropriate landscape species. And this list of perennial landscaping species was provided by a plan commissioner, Mr. Mitchell. And this will just give applicants a longer list of native Wisconsin landscaping species, which are also allotted more points for perennials. So it will assist the developers in providing those perennials if they choose to. So staff is recommending approval of the proposed zoning ordinance text amendments as proposed.
And just to add on to that, yeah, Mr. Mitchell had worked on this list of kind of increasing what we have for listed perennials that are native to Wisconsin, help provide it to staff so we could get it included in the ordinance. So thank you, Mr. Mitchell, for his work on this one.
Thank you, and thank you for your report. I'm going to accept it as part of the record. All right, since this, are there any technical questions from the Plan Commission to the staff? Ms. Davy?
I was really happy to see this being added. And I'm wondering if the staff will also make a point of giving this to people as they start applying, and I don't know which staff it is that's going to do this, but as people are applying to have their, getting rid of turf grass for their residences and getting more prairie-like, will this be provided there too? Because I could see it being very helpful. It's got a lot of bees and butterflies stuff in there.
Yeah, as I know, Sustainability Advisory Board and ultimately Council will be looking at a native planting ordinance change. As that ordinance change gets done and in effect, I think this will be a great list to provide to them so people can see the wide variety of native plantings that are available to them.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, any other technical questions? Or comment? Where am I Right, okay, so there are no other technical questions. We will move to the public comment, or the public hearing. And I will open the public hearing. At this time, I see that the applicant is not here, so I'm going to open it up to the community. Is there anybody here from the community that'd like to speak on this item? Okay, having seen none, I'm going to close the public hearing and ask for the commission to take action on this item.
Move to accept the recommendations and findings as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, I'd like to just say that I know Mr. Mitchell put a lot of time in this, and we had talked about it in the past. And I suggested he looked at some very local groups and organizations that work on these types of initiatives as well. And I know that he reached out and contacted and talked to them. He's actually been very instrumental in us letting our milkweed go a little bit further than we normally would. And so I'm really excited about this change, and so I'm fully supporting it. Any other comments?
Ditto to everything you just said.
All right, a plan commission. Let's have a roll call vote.
Mr. Kiefer,
Aye.
Ms. Shireman,
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein,
Aye.
Ms. Davy,
Aye.
Chairman Perry.
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0.
Great. Second to last item on our agenda is the planning director's report.
Yeah, so council is intending to cancel their December 27th meeting, as they do on most years, that second December meeting. So staff is anticipating then canceling the December 20th meeting, because even if we host that meeting, nothing goes on to council until into January everywhere. So there's another plan commission meeting in between there. And given the holiday season and everything, makes sense that we're going to cancel it. Doing this a little earlier this year than years previously. That way we can get our filing schedules, everything up to date, make sure as we hand them out to applicants, they understand that there will not be a meeting that date.
Right. Thank you. All right, last item on the agenda is adjournment.
I move to adjourn.
It's
Second.
been moved by Mr. Kiefer, second by Ms. Shireman. We have a voice vote on this, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition. We are adjourned. Thank you.